Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Spice and Wolf episode number 9 reaction. Okay, the previous episode we met the shepherd. Her name, did she mention her name? I don't remember. If she mentioned, I've probably forgotten. She introduced herself and she said that can I like go with you guys, like escort you out there, and there's wolves coming, so I might be able to help you out. So they hired her, obviously to Hollow's displeasure because she doesn't like shepherds. In the end, they have a few conversations, and Hollow mentions how a shepherd who has a good relation with their dog will become problems for wolves in the future. That is why she's not a big fan of her, especially because she is someone who, if left alone, will become a big threat to her and wolves. Either way, they went to Ruenheim. I think that was the name. I've forgotten the town's name. They went there and they went on their own after that. And uh, Lawrence went to the merchants association or something like that, and he met that one guy again. I've forgotten his name as well. Who like thinks of everyone as his children, he's like a father figure to them, and he's like, oh Lawrence, you're here, kind of like that. Right, but the problem strikes later when we get to see that someone has come here looking for Lawrence from the other village where we got the armor from. So who knows what more trouble is brewing over there. So let's see what happens. So this is episode number 9. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Hmm. Damn. Oh yeah. Oh, why? She did a good job with us. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Hmm. Yeah, okay, I see. That makes sense. Nora, yeah, that's the name. God damn. Hmm. Okay, here we go. Right. Um. Hmm. Oh boy. Hmm. Honey, sweet, sweet honey, and bitter armor. She's a wolf. Oh boy. All right, let's go. Oh my god, she heard it. Well, obviously her ears. But the door was closed, the windows are closed. Oh boy. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. What food? Yeah, she wants food. She wants those. You know those things that she wanted. I've forgotten what she wanted. Yeah. There you go. Wow. Okay. Okay. Right. Oh, here we go, Nora. Take this here. Hmm. Okay. Well. Well, there you go. That's that, I guess. Yeah, obviously. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. That. Yeah. I. Yeah. I guess. Your trading company. Hmm. Okay. If everything goes well, then that's good. But. Oh, oh, that's what she was doing. Okay. Wonk. Right. Why is everyone looking? Oh. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Oh, it's his. Probably his share of food. Wow. Okay. All right. Here we go. That guy came here. I remember in the previous episode, and was asking for Lawrence. So damn, this is very quiet. Oh, there he is. Oh God. Here we go. Oh boy. Here we go. Yeah. What? Oh no. Oh my God. So the debt is because we bought the armor. That is ridiculous. Wow. So now that we have taken the armor, everything falls on us now. Oh my God. I didn't see this coming. I see. Right. This ain't good. But isn't there like there should be some kind of law? You were loaned 47 and 3/4. Oh God. How? Day after tomorrow. Day after tomorrow. What? Well, then there, I guess. Oh my God. Okay, now what? Well, mm, yeah. I don't think, nah. Yeah. But it's too short, like 2 days. Wow. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we have to use the, like he said that he's going to use the armor. Hmm. Like, yeah, he said that if you go in, you have to be somehow related to him. Right. Well, he's like, oh, you're a merchant? Was able to- Yeah, she was able to do it. Wait, what? What? Oh, right. Hmm. Yeah, we got duped. Hmm. But yeah, they, I guess, we tried to, you know, yeah, but in these type of situations, yeah, I feel like it'll be a bit tricky. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. But you can give us advice, can you not? Like what we can do in this situation and all that. The time is too short. Hmm. His Yeah, his stuff will probably get seized and everything. Everything. Oh, they'll probably, yeah, work him to the bone and. Okay, I can see where this is going. All right. 10 years. Hmm. Yeah. Loopholes. All right. Hmm. Try. What? Oh, that's how he's trying to do. Okay. Hmm. Right. Okay. But I feel like everyone has gotten realized that he's in debt, so maybe people are not trying to. I think that's what's happening. Like, you saw like the people kind of were looking at him, so a lot of people probably knows, and it circulated the rumors. So to lend someone who is in debt, people are not. Yep, yeah, yeah, they all know. It has circulated. Oh god. Oh, was that his past or something? No. Oh, that's happening. Oh yeah. Who's this? Yeah, they all got to know. Hmm. Okay. What? Wait, what? Oh, okay. Okay, come on, man. Really? Like, after all this? Like, I can understand. Like, he's. Okay, that's it. All right, that was today's episode. Okay, so today's episode was basically the whole armor market crashing and them being in debt. Okay, so as far as I can understand, basically what happened is that since the armor he got from them, like since he's the one who got the armor, I'm guessing that the loss or the debt also transferred to him when the armor market crashed. I'm guessing something like that. Um, because wait a minute. Um, okay, here we go. It seems you are unaware of the recent drastic drop of prices in armor. Um, Now that the Northern Expedition has been cancelled, armor has become practically worthless. In other words, your companion now owes our trading company a lot of money. Okay, so yeah, so like, okay, where is that part? Later on, that guy, he says that you bought armor at Latoparon Trading, yeah. You were loaned 47 and 3/4 Lumione coins in the process. Okay, so that he bought the armor and he was loaned. Okay. And the debt was I see, to Remerio Trading. Okay, so this is what happened. Basically, he got it from them at loan. Obviously, since he was able to, you know, like that whole incident happened, we saw that they tried to trick him, so they were like, all right, you know, can we get the armor then? And obviously, he got it at loan. So that means he, like, he owes money to them, but his plan was buying that at loan, a huge amount, and selling them and gaining the money back and some extra, and then returning back the money that he took as a loan, making a profit. That was his plan. Obviously, as a merchant, sometimes people do stuff like this, like buying in loan and like in credit and all that. So that was his plan. But then now that the whole expedition has been cancelled, armor prices dropped. So the fact that he got a loan from that company, that still holds. So he got the armor from them at a huge amount of money, which was taken as loan. And now that he has to sell it, he realized that everything is extremely cheap, so he's going to sell it at extreme amount of loss. So he won't get enough money back to pay them back, and he's screwed basically. So he took like maybe it's something like he took like 100 gold coins. I'm just like taking like an example. He took a loan worth of like armor, 100 gold coins worth of armor he got, and now the armor market dropped, so it's like at 10 golds now. So the 100 gold worth armor that he got as loan, if he sells it now, he'll get most 10 golds out of it. So he's at 90 gold loss, and to return back the money that he took as loan, he doesn't have enough. That kind of thing, I guess. Okay, so that is what the problem is. And Lawrence says, like, so they, like, somehow they were able to pull, like, turn the whole thing back at them. Because if you saw in that previous episode, they were the ones who tried to take Lawrence, and Lawrence was able to understand. Lawrence and Hollow were able to figure that out, and Lawrence was like, all right, like, like that whole like, take me to a place where there is like armor, that can sell me armor, and he got it from that. All those things happen. So I'm guessing they knew that this somehow this like, or maybe they had like a hunch that the expedition might get cancelled. Obviously, Lawrence is like a newcomer here. He's a merchant. He travels from one place to another. They, who are the locals of this place, they would obviously know some information better than someone like a traveling merchant. Maybe that is why they had like inner information and rumors. They knew that, oh, the expedition will be cancelled. So when Lawrence was like armor, they took this opportunity and they were like, all right, you know what, perfect opportunity, this is how we can trick him into taking our loan. And they set this whole thing up. And the thing that he was saying is that if this was that guy, the guy who was like Lawrence's like the merchant associations, that dude, the manager, he says that if this was some kind of like a disease problem, be it like like some kind of like other like problems, like physical mental problems that you had and you need a lot of money, yeah, the merchant association would have helped you. However, something like this, we cannot do anything in this type of situation. So we cannot lend you money, we cannot do anything of that sort. So you have to do this on your own, because you were the one who decided to take that risk and you fell down. And like neither are they at fault here, nor are we. Like you took it and you failed. That kind of thing, which is true. They found an opportunity to trick Lawrence and make him the scapegoat, and they took it. And if you remember, Lawrence said this before as well, like in merchant businesses, if you get tricked by another merchant, it's on you. And nothing you can do about it. It's on you. So yeah, that kind of thing. So I guess that's why like everything is fair. Like I was saying, like while reacting, I was saying is this fine? Like, isn't there any type of laws that, oh, you cannot do stuff like this? I guess probably not, because again, this is like merchant business. Like trickery, selling stuff for a higher amount, tricking other merchants. It's part of the job. So if you fall for it as a merchant, it's on you, basically. That kind of thing. So yeah, that is why like stuff like this is happening. Now I just realized something. When that those guys were like, oh, like the armor market fell, you can like, what do you want to do with the armor? You want to sell it off or something? At which Lawrence says, no, you want to like destroy it or something. Lawrence was like, no, I will sell it at a higher price. I'll keep it with me for now. So, and the fact that they the reason why they said that the northern expedition got cancelled, that's why the armor market fell. Like, there's only one way I can see of making that money back from the armor, if the expedition gets like, if it gets like issued or something. If that happens within these 2 days, which I feel like is a very crazy like thing, how is that even possible? Then only I can see them making money from that armor. Or if they find some other like use of that armor, maybe something else, maybe someone else needs the armor, something like that. Other than that, I don't see them any other way they are going to make money out of that armor. So if they are not able to make money out of the armor, what are they even going to use to get their money back from this? Obviously the fact that Nora is involved in this arc makes me think that she will somehow get involved here. And something that they said that it's kind of striking me is that they talked about going to that place. I forgot the name. The place where they're selling is very dangerous. So maybe something related to that is going to happen. Or who knows, like, but it's pretty obvious that Nora will somehow get involved in this. I don't know exactly how, but like she'll probably be the key to Lawrence somehow making, like, getting out of this debt, like some way or the other. I don't know exactly how, but otherwise, why was she introduced? It's a pretty obvious question. So let's wait and see how this goes. Other than that, yeah, things aren't looking good today. And obviously, like, this is like a place where everyone, like, like they're like, I'm guessing everyone got to hear that Lawrence is like in debt and everything. That's when nobody's ready to like lend him money and all that. And then there was this dude in the end. Like, okay, so what? Okay, I don't understand this. Let me read this part. only God could predict a market collapse. It would be harsh to blame someone for that. Okay, um, I live according to His word and believe in someone in showing others the same sincerity I was shown. Okay, I wanted to be of help to you, Mr. Lawrence. And then he looks at Hollow. However, you're walking around with a woman while depending on the mercy of others for money. I don't understand. What's the problem? Is this some kind of a like older day thing? Like I'm genuinely I'm confused here. What's the problem? What? It must be. I'm genuinely not understanding this part. Wait a minute. I'm genuinely confused here. So basically, what he's saying here is that not only like you're asking others for money, you're depending on trying to depend on others for money, but at the same time you're moving along with a woman. How dare you mock other? What? I don't I'm gen. Is it because I guess they think? Okay, so I was going to say like Lawrence has said this that she is a business partner. So what? What's the problem? I okay, yeah, it's definitely one of those things. I which probably I won't understand. Like it's one of the older day things I think, because the fact that he's going around with a woman, and obviously he's talking about God and like the church and everything. He probably thinks that he's like fooling around or something. But if Lawrence probably tries to say that no, she's a business partner, they'll probably not believe in or something like that. So I'm guessing that's what's happening. So he's like, oh, since you're walking around with a woman, fooling around with a woman, there's no point in helping you out. Something like that, I think. I don't know. Anyways, this part really confused me, but I think it's probably something like that. Yeah. So, bruh, I that was weird. Anyways, um, yeah, and that's what's happening in the end. Obviously Lawrence kind of like snaps off a little bit. Now like I said, like I can understand he's like completely like doesn't know what to do, but at this point of time, after everything that has happened, I feel like he, he should have like restrained reacting like that in front of Hollow, because honestly speaking, it was your fault. It wasn't Hollow's fault in no way. Like in no other way, like this whole thing, you brought this upon yourself because you're the one who decided to buy in credit. Hollow said before that you're doing this, like I'm not really comfortable with stuff like this, but he's a merchant. Obviously, like merchants, this is basically what merchants do. They cannot always rely on like the amount of money they have. Sometimes they take a gamble, and sometimes they win. If they don't win, they're screwed. Basically that is basically what merchants are. And I'm sure Lawrence has taken gambles like this before as well. Everything probably went well, but this time it kind of went a bit in a weird way direction, and he got completely set up with this whole situation. So yeah, but yeah, so obviously when he was like, oh, it's all your fault because you're with me, like I can understand he, like at that point of time in that situation, he completely just lost all reasoning. But logically speaking, no, it wasn't. Obviously in no way is this Hollow's fault. Like on top of it, Hollow actually tried to help you make more money out of it. First the first like instance was like her selling the what was it, the fur for a lot of like almost like the double the amount. And then there was that part where with the whole the training, that the silver training coin, that whole incident that happened, Hollow also helped him realize what's going on and helped him out on that situation as well. Then there was the situation with uh, that part where he went to that place, and the the table, the room was tilted, that part, he was going to get scammed. She even helped him out at that. So every single instance I can see is either Hollow helping him out, make more money either, or not get scammed. You know, so even if it was at the heat of the moment, I feel like this was a very stupid thing to do at that point. Like lash out to someone who in no way was any way involved in any type of, yeah, I could understand if Hollow was maybe like involved in this, and somehow it was also like, you know something that Hollow did, that's why this happened. I could understand that, that's why he snapped at him. But she is in no way involved with this whole nonsense that's going on anyway. More so, he told Lawrence that you took this in a credit, I'm not really like comfortable with this. So yeah, like that is why. Either way, like I said, I can understand. He was like at the heat of the moment, he was just completely like lashed out. But like I feel like as a merchant and as a grown ass man, he should have like kept his eye. But again, yeah, you know what? I don't blame him. Never mind. I guess we can speak like this just sitting here while he actually went through all of that. I guess we have to keep in mind that he actually, throughout the whole day, he went around different places, asking for money, and a lot of people threw like stuff at him, and we saw that, like someone like threw like water at him or something. And then there was that part where people were throwing money at him. I don't know if that was in his past or that was happening then. I'm not really sure, that scene. um but yeah, like I guess, after all that, yeah, keeping like a positive, you know yeah, demeanor is not really possible. So yeah, but still it feels bad, basically that. Either way, he also realized like his mistake. Hollow also, Hollow kind of left after that. But yeah, anyways, that was that. Now, like I said, I think this is somehow Nora is going to get involved in this some way or the other. Otherwise, they wouldn't have introduced her in this arc. So what I'm trying to think is like, I feel like, I don't know. I'm not really sure how this is going to go. Like I'm trying to think, maybe somehow if they're able to bring the expedition back again, but how will they even do that? Because we have to remember the expedition got cancelled. That is why this happened. If the expedition becomes reissued again within these few days, the armor market will again go up immediately. So if we're able to do that, but I genuinely am not sure how we will be able to do that, unless and until the church gets involved, and somehow, and since if the church gets involved, maybe it will have something to do with Nora. That's how I'm trying to make a connection. But who knows? It's pretty obvious that Nora will somehow be involved in this, but I don't know exactly how. So let's wait and see. And yeah, let's see which direction this goes. Okay, now that was that. That was today's episode. Now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the very first scene, we get to see Lawrence talking to this guy. Like I said, I've forgotten his name. He is like, oh, like how are you, this and that. There, like, and he asks him that, yeah, so he like, he talks to him about a few things. He says like, like, you should, why did you visit at a time like this? Yeah, he wanted a certificate showing that I'm a member of the association. And he's like, I wish you could should hurry to become a merchant from your own name. Like, when if you say your name, people will be like, damn, it's Lawrence, that kind of thing. Otherwise, that woman you're with will probably leave you or something like that. And Lawrence is like, she's just, like an investment, like. And obviously he doesn't say much, but he's like, okay, yeah, whatever you say, haha. Like, he kind of like doesn't really listen to him, because obviously, like, he's like, what investment? A town girl is an investment? Like, what? So he obviously didn't believe him, but obviously Lawrence, like, he has gotten a lot of help from Hollow. So, in that business perspective, she's definitely very shrewd, and definitely, yeah, very worthy to be like Lawrence's partner. So in that sense, like he's right, but obviously the guy was like, what the hell are you even talking about? Anyways, so okay, so he then asks about Nora, or doesn't really ask about Nora, asks about like that other place where they can go, and he's like, oh, you're talking about Nora, aren't you? And he says like a lot of people had the same idea as you, but they're not okay ready to hire Nora as a bodyguard because of the church, and he's like, that is why. Okay, so right. So after that, he's like, so the certificate addressed to a certain trading company, which is it? And he says like Remedio Trading Company. At which he immediately stops for a moment, and he's like, okay. And he's like, right. So you'll probably understand when you get there. Like he had like an inkling to it because obviously he definitely knew that the armor market dropped and everything. So he was like, okay, but you should go there and check it out yourself. Um, Either way, so he moves like gets out of the building, and after that he talks to Hollow, and Hollow's like, oh, so I'm just an investment, while that the shepherd girl, she's like, and, and he's like, wait, you can hear that? Right. Anyway, so he's like, oh no, that was just like a matter of speech, this and that, like, and he tries to like make excuses and that. And in the end, Hollow's like, oh, I was just trying to tease you. You got so serious about it. That's kind of nice. And then she's like, you know what? Maybe after, maybe after all of that, like those whole conversation that you had, I'm a bit hurt. So maybe you can help me out with something. And some kind of a gift. At which Lawrence is like, fine, I'm going to buy you the whatever she wanted. What that thing? I've forgotten what she wanted. Anyways, and in the end, she's like, okay, fine. And Lawrence realizes that she was just trying to, again tease him to get what she wants. At which Lawrence gets pouty, and she's like, come on, like it's just a joke, this and that. Typical banter. After that, in one scene, we get to see Nora in the church, and Nora is like talks to the father there, and she's like, father, she says like, can I get assigned to, here we go, I would like to take the sheep to graze in a slightly safer area. At which he's like, oh no, you'll be fine, like, you have a god gift power, like God has graced you with the power to keep wolves at bay. So do not trust in him, this and that. He completely disregards him, and he's like, you'll be fine, God has given you this job, you'll be able to do it, and just leaves. So there you go, her whole attempt to get to a better place failed. Either way, after that we get to see Lawrence is in a very good mood, and Hollow's like, you are in a very good mood, but you took this in credit, didn't you? Like, are you okay with that? Like, if just in case if something happens, like, and he's like, no, it's fine, like, if you know something will sell, shouldn't you buy it even if you go into debt? Now this is like a merchant. So like I said, merchants do this, businessmen, merchants, they definitely do this, like buy and sell in credit, and stuff like that. That's basically how a lot of business goes, and that is also why a lot of business goes bankrupt if something goes in a wrong way, if things doesn't go as you want it to go, if something suddenly some bad things happen, it's over. So it's like a risky, like thing. So it makes sense. But as normal people here, and like as someone who's not a merchant, I definitely agree with Hollow, because it does feel a bit weird, like buying something within debt. And because obviously you'll be like, if something goes wrong, somehow something goes wrong, I'll be screwed, like everything will be just completely. So yeah, it kind of it's basically kind of like a very low-key gambling, like, oh, like, I'm going to do this, like, like, even with, like, even if I go to debt, I'm going to try to gamble this thing. If it works, it obviously I'll be rich. If not, then I'm screwed. Obviously this is not as intense as gambling, because gambling is basically like a luck, like chance of, like luck. Basically, that's why it's called gambling. This is obviously, this has a lot of like things you need to think about. For example, like getting to know the market, trying to understand the situation. For example, here, as he was like, everyone will be going in the expedition, that is why they'll definitely need armor. So he was like, yeah, so that's why this is definitely going to work out. But so it has a lot of logic in it, unlike gambling, which is completely luck, and a matter of chance. However, sometimes, as you can see, unexpected things does happen. For example, here, even though he made this whole plan and he was ready, he was like, yeah, this is definitely how this is going to go, and it would have gone in that direction if not for the expedition getting cancelled. And this is the thing that I'm talking about, these sudden exceptional situations. In that sense, it is kind of like gambling. Like something might happen which might completely throw you off the rails. And so in that sense, I feel like, like I agree with Hollow here. It feels a bit weird going in doing stuff like this, but he's a merchant, a businessman, and I know that like all merchants and all businessmen definitely does stuff in this way. Like just like go into debt to buy something, and they know that, oh, this will work out. And if it works out, it works out. Then obviously they'll have a lot of money and they'll reinvest it into something else, and like rinse and repeat. But just in like maybe like once in a blue moon, something goes wrong, and oh god, it's over. You're done. That kind of thing. Right. So yeah, there you go. And the problem here is that he didn't even like do this with his own money. He went into debt to do this, which is the big problem here. If he like used up all his own money to do this, then even if it went into loss, they'd probably lose everything, but they'll at least be free people. But now that he went into debt to do this, if he loses everything, like he loses his freedom as well, because as obviously as we know, they'll, as he kind of said, that they'll take him away, like make make him do hard labor, this and that, all that stuff. Okay, either way, so yeah, after that he like goes off to the place Remedio Trading, I think that was the name, and he is like, the place is very quiet, so he's like, something's happening here, and Hollow's like, there's people in it, in the building, so so they go in, and this guy comes in, and he's like, oh, you're here, like Mr. Lawrence. No, at first he didn't really say anything, he's like, like, and Lawrence is like, oh, are you a bit busy? Okay, I'll come later. And he tries to leave, at which he's like, are you Lawrence? He probably realized that maybe this is Lawrence, and he's like, yeah. And then he's like, oh, okay, so something weird has happened. It's not weird, unexpected has happened. You're not aware of the recent drop in prices of armor, are you? At which Lawrence is like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, the expedition got cancelled, so it's gone down, and that means armor has practically become worthless, because obviously if the expedition has been cancelled, why will they need armor? Isn't it? Like, it's worthless. Yeah, in other words, your companion now owes our trading company a lot of money. Now, and another thing, here's the thing, like, he cannot really keep the armor as well and wait for a day when it'll go back up again, like in that sense, because he's in debt. He has to return the money. That's the problem here. Like I said, if he did this with his own money, he wouldn't be, if he wasn't at debt, maybe he could have kept that armor, and obviously kept being a free man, and like in the future, maybe like when maybe it will take a while for the expedition to get reissued again, maybe then he could have done something. Also, then again, I guess like like it's armor, so it'll probably get rusted or something. That'll be a problem, but still he could have done something. The big problem here is that he's in debt, so he has to return it within the amount of days that they have set. They're like, oh, 2 days only, like you'll get. So he has to do that. He owe them money, so that's the big problem here. So it makes it even more messier. And he's like, he tells Hollow that, so basically your companion owes a trading company a lot of money, so, and the armor is basically worthless now. Right. To simply put it, he's gone bankrupt. And then they go inside that place, and he's like talking to this dude. I'm guessing he's like one of the higher ups of this place. And yeah, Mr. Emerio, that is Mr. Emerio himself. And he's like, oh, like, you don't have much time, a payment deadline, like, okay, here we go. He kind of gives it a better, like, like explanation here. Let me read this. Okay, Mr. Lawrence, you were loaned 47 and 3/4 Lumione coins with a payment deadline when making your purchase at the Lataperon Trading Company. Yeah, and the deadline, I think it's like 2 days or something. This is what we wish for you to pay. If not, we will ask that the Rowan Merchant Association to assume the debt on your behalf. Well, the deadline is the day after tomorrow. We will wait for 2 full days. And he's like, what will you do with the armor? And he's like, I'll take care of it. You don't have to worry about that. I'll settle the debt in 2 days. So he comes out, obviously he's shaken up completely. And he's like, what should I do? And Hollow's like, are you okay? And Hollow, then in the end, Hollow's like, don't worry, I'll help you out. If needed, I can help you run away from here as well. But Lawrence is like, no, I don't want that. We are merchants. Like, merchants, they're like, connection goes worldwide. It's difficult to get away from their clutches. So you cannot do anything in that situation. I'll try to see what I can do. And Hollow's like, if everything doesn't work, I'll take you and run into the forests. And like she's basically like that. In the end, he's like, okay, let me go back to the association. You wait at the inn, and like I'll go and talk to that guy. And Hollow's this time, Hollow's like, no, I'm going with you. At which Lawrence is like, I told you before, like unless and until, like, if I go in, I have to like introduce you, and like as a family or something. And in the end, Hollow's like, why don't you say, that if it is that important, why don't you say that we are lovers, and you can say that, like, or is it even in this situation you cannot do anything, something like that. In the end, Lawrence is like, fine, whatever, I'll say that you're my business partner. So they go in, and the first thing he asks is like, first and foremost, who's this beautiful woman with you? Lawrence says, due to some dealings, we have become business partners. And he's like, oh, business. At the Paseo branch of Milole Trading Company, she was able to sell the first associated at 140 silver for 210 silver. Yeah, which is true, that happened. And he's like, okay. I told you I'd never invest if there wasn't something in for me. And then he says, if you were husband and wife, I was thinking of convincing the two of you to get a divorce. Okay, now I need to understand this part. But there are guys like you every once in a while. He's like, what? One day they have an unimaginable beauty with them and seem to get along. Yet they never talk about the woman, and I never ask about them. Well, the scriptures say it isn't good to carelessly open a mysterious box. And she's like, a wise decision. And he laughs. Okay, so right, I still don't understand why they, like, if they were husband and wife, why would he tell them to go and get a divorce? I'm genuinely confused. Is it because no? I'm genuinely confused. I'm like I said, but obviously the next part, it makes sense. Obviously he talks about how there are some people like Lawrence who come, like, moves with a woman but doesn't say anything about them, and something like that. That whole thing, that makes sense. But the first part I don't understand, where he says like, I would have told you to go to the church and get divorced. Oh, I'm guessing maybe because obviously she's like an unknown person. He probably met her recently. He concluded from that, and he probably is like, maybe she's trying to trick you or something like that. Maybe that's why, like, if they were husband and wife, there was a possibility that the woman would try to trick you and somehow backstab you and take everything from you. And this probably has happened multiple times before as well, and that is why he was telling Lawrence that I would have told you to immediately go and get divorced. Something like that. I don't know. I'm just assuming. I'm not really sure. There's a few things in today's episode that I didn't understand. For example, this whole divorce part, the ending part where that guy suddenly got mad because Hollow was going along with him. Is it just because, like, Hollow was with him and he's like, oh, like, you're trying to ask others for help, and then they were fooling around with a woman? Is that the reason why he got mad? Like, what? Okay, whatever. Um, Either way, um, so he says, like, okay, so the next point, so you're in trouble, so basically this is what happened. So he kind of tells them, so this is what happened, and then he says, like, if this was like some kind of a problem, like, like a health problem, sickness or something like that, we would definitely help you, because this is something nobody can do anything about. However, this is something you brought upon yourself, and none of us in the merchant association could lend you any type of money or any type of help in that sense. So unfortunately, you have to do this on your own. And he says, like, and if you are not able to return the money, yeah, you have a bigger problem, because they definitely will somehow, like, they definitely will, like, get that money from you. But since you don't have anything, maybe they'll, like, like, tell you to, like, like set you to work for, like, rowing a long distance boat for 10 years, or going into the mines or something like that, and, like, you'll have to work hard for 10-20 years, and if you're able to do that, then maybe you'll be able to pay them back. But there's sickness, other problem, health problems, so it's a basically you lose your freedom. So yeah, and he says, like, that's the thing. So he's like, I'll trust you. If you need any other type of help, you can come and ask me, but fight until the end. Like, I'm hoping everything goes well. So there you go, that's that. And Lawrence comes out, and Lawrence is like, Hollow's like, what should we do now? Lawrence is like, okay, I can ask, there's a few people I know, maybe they'll lend me some money. So you know take up the situation like that, and then maybe little by little pay them back the money. So he goes to a lot of places, and all these people, I'm guessing, were probably his connection. He maybe he probably helped them out here and there, and they probably have a good, like, connection with Lawrence. But I at least think that the reason why every single person was like, no, like, sorry, no money, is probably because the whole, like, like, the whole thing got circulated, like, that, oh, Lawrence has gone to debt because of the armor stock, like, drop in price, and nobody's ready to give him money, ready to give money to someone who's already in debt. So this happens multiple times. Every time Lawrence is like, okay, next one, the same thing happens. There's once that place where someone, like, dropped water on him. And okay, now this scene I have to see, is this what happened now? Like, no. So we see the scene when Lawrence is walking and Hollow's following him, and suddenly this like, scene cuts off to people throwing money at him. This is something in the past, isn't it? It must be, because that was a drastic cut. I don't understand. It's probably something in his past that happened and he's remembering it. Yeah, and then it cut back to him again. So this is something in his past. He went through a situation like that back. Or who knows? I'm not really sure. Or maybe not. Maybe that was what was happening now. Maybe he went into a tavern and asked for help, and like, people, like, threw money at him like that. Who knows? I'm not really sure. Either way, yeah, he gets more and more frustrated, and in the end, he comes to this guy, and this guy's like, oh, like, like, Mr. Lawrence, like, obviously, like, like, I want to help you out, like, like the market crash, it's something that nobody can predict except God. So you couldn't do anything in that situation. There's nothing you can do about it. And then he's like, I would have helped you out, but like, you are asking others for help, depending on other people for money, and at the same time you're walking around with a woman. What do you think, we are idiots? I think something like that he says. And then he shuts the door, and like I said, I was so confused. I'm like, what is, like, right? So it's probably something like that. He's like, yeah, like, what are you, like, you're asking others for help, and then you're moving around with a woman. So it's probably one of those things back in the days that like, people just couldn't see something in a proper way. Like, whenever you see like someone with a woman, immediately it goes in like a wrong direction. That's immediately where it goes, like that kind of thing, I guess. I'm not really sure, and that's why he's probably saying that you're not serious about this, so like, you're making a fool out of us. Something like that, maybe. I'm not really sure. Either way, so at which Lawrence like starts walking, and Hollow's like, stop, Lawrence, and he tries to stop him. And that is when Lawrence suddenly snaps, and he's like, oh, if only you weren't here with me. And then he immediately realizes what he said, and Lawrence is like, I'm sorry. At which Hollow's like, oh, okay, I'll go back to the inn. And that's where it ended. So yeah, like I said, don't know how this is going to get resolved. I'm pretty sure somehow Nora will get involved in this. I don't know exactly how, but the only thing that comes to my mind is that maybe if we are able to reissue the expedition back, but how do we even do that? So yeah, let's wait and see. Anyway, so that was it. That was today's episode number 9 of Spice and Wolf. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Spice and Wolf. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.